Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Cree Childs coming to you from Austin, Texas. And today I'm going to be answering a question that I got about how to start a small business in Texas. So I wish that I had this information whenever I was first starting out. I've started, I don't know, to this point, let me get my camera right. I started at this point probably about 5 different businesses, 2 of which failed miserably. And now I'm to a point where I've got 2 businesses that are running really well, and one of them is a short-term rental business. The other one is a marketing business, and that's where I help clients with their digital marketing, their offline marketing, etc. And back 10 years ago, whenever I first started this business, businesses, when I first started my entrepreneurial journey, I really didn't know what I didn't know, and that was kind of a problem. So I'm going to go ahead and answer these questions. The question was, you know, how do I start my business with no money in Texas? Well, you have to have some level of money, like some level of capital, because to register a small business in Texas, it actually costs $350. Now, that's just to file with the state. That's if you're going to file it on your own, and there are certain things that you need to know in order to be able to file your business. So, like, you need to be able to send the information over to the Secretary of State. You have to have a registered agent's address. So, like, whether you're going to use your own address, or you're going to use an attorney, or you're going to use a different service, that's something that you want to consider as well. Do you have a business plan, right? Do you have something in mind that you're already going to start selling? And usually, what I recommend for young budding entrepreneurs is to observe what's happening in the marketplace. Maybe even go work for somebody and spend a little bit of time working and learning whatever it is that you're trying to do. Like, let's say you want to go over and do wholesaling, right? I just talked to somebody yesterday who was looking at wholesaling. And the problem I have with wholesaling, like just jumping in without getting the right information, is that you can get yourself thrown in jail, right? So, like, that's one of those things where it doesn't actually hurt to go over and spend a little bit of money to get educated on how to wholesale properly. And if you need a resource for that, shoot me a DM, hit me up, because we actually have an amazing training that teaches people from start to finish how to wholesale. And we have an instructor that has done $350 million in 1 year back in 2017. And he continues to do high volumes, but that was his most that he ever grossed in wholesaling alone. And he has 3 or 4 other businesses too. Like, he's a real estate agent, a broker. He wholesales, but he also generates a ton of business from his flip business and his buy and hold business, right? So he's not just wholesaling. I think that's the problem that people face, is that they try and go out there and just wholesale, and then they have no other strategies of being able to help people with real estate challenges. So, kind of off my real estate soapbox. So any business, right, you need to understand how the business operates. My first business that I started was a retail arbitrage business. So I would go out and I would go shop at the local stores and try and find deals, and then I would try and flip it onto Amazon or eBay and make a small profit. And the problem with that is that you have to understand what your actual margins should be based on the industry, right? And the industry for retail, once you're doing arbitrage, you're looking at making anywhere from 5 to 15%. Now, that means you have to do a lot of volume, right? Because your deals are a lot smaller, right? The stuff that you're selling, it can be as much as like a piece of furniture, which may sell for, 2, 3, $400, and you're making 10% of that, or 50%, 15% of that. So then you have to operate your business. That's your profit. You have to operate the rest of your business off of the profit only, not off the actual gross volume, right? So when someone says, like, we did, $150,000 last year, is that your gross volume, or is that your net profit, right? So you have to understand that as well. So financing your business, how are you going to actually start your business, right? Are you going to finance it off of cash? Are you going to go out and use a line of credit? Are you going to go to the bank and get a loan? Are you going to do a small business loan? Like, are you going to go to a friend or family member and say, hey, loan me 10 grand, I'm going to go do this, right? Being able to structure your business and register it correctly, right? If you structure yourself incorrectly, you're going to set yourself up for a bunch of tax burden, or you're going to set yourself up to be sued, right? So you don't want to go in there unknowingly just set yourself up as the wrong type of entity. It helps to actually sit down and have a conversation with an educated legal professional and an educated financial professional, so that they can help you save yourself tons of money in taxes and legal liability down the road, right? So if you're really serious about starting a business, you're not just trying to go over there and make money from your couch, right? You're actually looking at starting a long-term business that can make tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars of profit over the lifetime of the business. Then you definitely want to have the right legal protection and the right financial system. That was one of the mistakes I made on my first business. Another question was, or the next part of that was your business, your tax responsibilities. So I follow something called Profit First. Profit First is basically every dollar you bring into your business, you have in your business account 3 different primary accounts. You've got your operations account, you've got your tax account, and you've got your profit account. Now, your tax account should be anywhere from 15 to 25%, for most small businesses. In some instances, you'll have a lower tax burden than that. We actually have, again, another class I can help you with that talks in detail about how to structure yourself and the 300 plus or minus write-offs that you can get access to just by having the right structure. But for most small business owners, if you're just doing an LLC, you're going to operate as an LLC, or you're going to operate as a sole proprietorship, then you probably want to set aside about 15-20% taxes. The operations account should be about 50%. Your 15% taxes, your 5 to 10% profit. You just got to decide based on the type of business you're doing. If you're flipping cars, you may have a smaller margin than if you're selling information products, right? Information products almost 100%. You do have some transaction costs, some e-commerce costs, some credit card processing fees, et cetera. So you just have to know your business, right? It goes back to knowing the financials. If you're doing the wholesale business, it's between 3 and 10%, right? When you sell a $150,000 house, you're going to be profiting about 3 to 10%, right? So anywhere from $3,000 up to $15,000, right? Because you don't want to go to jail for being greedy. So we won't get into that though. You need to know your business, right? So your profit in your tax account, and then the remaining amount, that's 70 to 50%, is going to go towards paying the owner and building the business, right? So you're going to be paying for marketing costs and operations and transactions and, like with Square or PayPal or whatever, those transaction fees, and being able to print out your business paraphernalia, right? Your business cards, your letterheads, your whatever you need to actually run your business, that's going to come out of the operations side, which is between 30 and 35%. And then you've got your owner distributions. That's about 50%. So I always recommend when someone's starting their business to make double in their business what they're making in their job before they quit their job, because if you don't, you won't have enough money to actually pay your taxes, pay yourself profit, and operate your business, because you'll be trying to live off of your income from your business, and you'll be eating into all these other things, and then you're going to get stuck with a tax bill, right? So I would say anybody that's considering breaking free from their job, right, don't just jump ship. Actually sit down and have a plan, have a strategy, right? Sit down with a legal professional, sit down with a tax professional. If you need recommendations for either one of those, I can definitely hook you up. In Texas alone, but we have a nationwide network, so I can plug you into any one of the different communities we have and hook you up with somebody that actually understands these concepts in the right way. Because, a lot of people are just doing legal because that's what they thought would make them a lot of money, or they're, a financial professional, right? Who just wants to do the bare minimum so that they can make whatever decent income for them is. And they're not actively seeking out ways to benefit their clients, or they just don't know, right? There's YouTube University. There's so much information out there now. It's like, how do you know what to even search for, let alone what to actually implement to make your business successful? So anyways, the last two steps are to get all the licenses and permits that you need. So like, for instance, if you're going to operate a food business, you need to make sure you have a food server's license, a food handler's license, that you're registered with the state and then with the local city that you're operating in. You want to make sure you're abiding by the laws, because if not, you could get sued and then you're out of business and you're not making any money, right? When it comes to short-term rental stuff, you want to have the right licenses, the right certifications, the correct amount. I don't actually think you need certifications, but you might want to get certified, right? Just because it gives you an extra edge. And then also having the right legal protection, right? Whenever we operate our short-term rental business, we want to have all the legal protections so that our clients are taken care of, we're taken care of, the person that's staying there is taken care of, should anything happen, right? So having the right systems and processes in place, the right licensure and the right permits, as well as also the right protections, really can be the difference between your business running well and growing versus just dying. And then the last thing is business employer requirements. So if you're going to be hiring people, not just 1099s, right? You're going to be hiring employees, then you want to make sure that you understand payroll, how that applies to your taxes, and having a system in place as you scale, right? If you're just doing one rental property, or you're doing, one little food truck, you may not have a whole lot of employees. So you could do something like Square Up. You go to squareup.com, not affiliated, but I use them. And you can go there and you can actually set up a simple system to pay your employees, right? Then you still have to file quarterly payroll taxes. So you need to know about that, and you need to probably be working with a competent professional who can help you with that. Again, if you need a referral for that, just shoot me an email, millennialreigroup@gmail.com, and my name is Cree. So anyways, I hope that helps you guys out. gives you a little bit of clarity about starting your own business. You do need to have money to start a business. Don't think that you need to have your own money though. You can go find a partner. You can, if you've got a great idea and you want to get it off the ground, you can go to some of these different networking events and just talk to people, ask them, are they experiencing, the biggest thing is you need to ask, what challenges are people having, right? That's how you start a business. Don't go over and just like start a business because you want to make money, right? That's the mistake that I made 2 times, right? I didn't learn my lesson the first time. Don't chase after money, right? Try to find problems and solve them. So what we do in real estate is we find people that have difficulty with their real estate challenges and we solve their problems, right? We create a solution that wins for them, wins for us, and usually wins for the lender or the bank. When you're looking at starting another business, like probably one of the hardest businesses to start, as a great example, is food business, right? I worked with restaurants in the past, and restaurants are really challenging because there's really small margins, and you have to really, like, what problem are you solving, right? People are willing to pay for solutions to problems to get rid of pain. And restaurants, it's like, well, you're going out to have a great experience. So you really got to be in the experience business. You're designing an experience. You've got to be on top of your customer service. You got to train a lot of people. And it's just like you got to have a lot of capital to start a business. I wouldn't start there, right? I would look at something like that you can actually do from your home on the side. Like you want to go flip some products online. You want to design your own product. You want to patent something. You want to create a course or something like that that helps people solve a specific challenge, right? So maybe it's like how to get themselves the proper amount of funding, right, in order to go out there or another example, and this is probably a better example, is you go to different networking events and you just listen to what challenges people are having. And someone says, man, I'm having a lot of problems with trying to get people to call me about my mortgage lending business. Oh, okay, well that's interesting. What is the biggest challenge in that regards? Well, I just don't know how to market myself. Oh, okay, so if I was able to help you get 5 or 10 people coming to you each month rather than you having to go out and chase people, would that be worth, $1,000 a month? Well, yeah, we could talk about that, right? Because they know what their margins are. They know what their product sells for, and they can then make a decision of whether or not that's a reasonable budget for them to allocate. And then if you build a system around that, you can then serve their need, right? Whether it's you're knocking on doors and trying to help people save money on their refinance, or you're going to networking events and just telling them, what problem you solve, which is people are overpaying for their mortgage payments and they need more cash flow. And maybe someone just lost their job, and then you can build a referral network like that. You could start a YouTube channel, right? I just don't really like when people are like, I'm going to go become YouTube famous. Well, what problem are you solving, right? Are people bored? I mean, entertainment is the thing, right? You might help a lot of people with a little bit of problem, right? Which is they're bored in the moment, and your video entertains them. But I want to really encourage you, if you want to start a sustainable business, right? Landscaping, roofing, being a contractor, doing a maid service, doing a janitorial cleaning service, right? Selling supplies to any of those different groups, right? Those are going to be businesses for years to come. And those folks are going to need to have products and services to serve their needs, which is running their business, right? And you can also go to consumer. You can go B to C, which is business to consumer. And you can go knock on doors and say, hey, I've got a cleaning business. Would it make sense for me to go ahead and save you? If I was able to save you 3-4 hours a month of time wasted on cleaning your house and made sure that your house was in impeccable condition, would that be worth, 20 minutes of your time? And then they sit down and then you have a conversation about, or not sit down, but you can stand there and have a conversation about, how you can offer value by cleaning their property. And you already work with other people in the area, and you're able to then expand your network, and it doesn't cost you any money, right? It doesn't cost you any money. But when you're looking at structuring your business and developing a plan and how big do you want it to grow, are you looking at just making money on the side? Or are you looking at making money like actually building a sustainable business, something that you can sell in the future or give to your kids, right? That's a totally different conversation than I need to make an extra $500 this month, right? If you need to make an extra $500, go drive for Uber, or go over and, get a part-time job, right? You could do that. Those are different options as well, right? You can learn how to do marketing. You can learn how to do social media marketing. You can learn how to run ads. You can learn how to do retail arbitrage, right? To make an extra $500, you don't have to start a business for that. But if your goal is you want to actually create a sustainable business that solves a problem, well, then that's whenever you want to start looking at, okay, I need the legal structure and how much is it, how much is it going to cost, and start learning about costs of money and, so on and so forth. So if you feel like you got some value out of this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, right? Hit the little bell, the subscribe button, then hit the bell to get notified whenever I post another video. And again, I hope this helps you guys out. Ask me some questions down below in the comments. I'd love to know what your feedback is. What kind of questions or challenges are you facing when it comes to, starting your own business? I've done several of them, and I've learned from my past failures. So I always feel like learning from other people's failures is a lot better than trying to learn it all on your own. So anyways, hope you guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you next time.